Hey, welcome back to Dogtography. Today is episode 2 of my inspirational series about how to know if you want to become a professional dog photographer. I do suggest you go back and watch episode 1 where we kind of talk about what a day in the life of a dog photographer is like and what questions you need to ask yourself to know if this type of career is right for you. Today we're going to talk about how to know what kind of work you want to do. What photos do you want to take? And where do you want to take them? And some of my suggestions about where to go to kind of look for some inspiration. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Andrea Fleury and welcome to Dogtography. My channel is all about how to take better images of your dog and how to create some really super fun memories. I walk you through different tips and tutorials and techniques. I sometimes show you behind the scenes of my professional career as a dog photographer, all while just trying to have some fun and enjoy time with our dogs. So I would say the first step in trying to figure out what kind of work do you want to do? What kind of photographer do you want to be? Hopefully by now from watching the first episode, you've kind of come to a thought about what you want to take photos of. Who's your subject? Is it a cat? Is it a dog? Are you doing small animals at an animal shelter? Who are you taking photos of? Once you've kind of answered that question, then you can kind of decide, where am I going to take photos of them? Do I want to work indoors? Do I want to work outdoors? Do I want to do both? Once you kind of decide that way, then I can kind of lead you further down the path. So for me, when I was looking and researching dog photography, pet photography, I'm looking through images and I'm trying to find things that align with my style. That everybody talks about style in photography. Well, what's your style? What's it like? When you're first getting started, you don't have a style yet, but you kind of know what things you gravitate towards or what things you might be more passionate about than others. I can only speak for myself and my own path and journey through this. When I was looking at images of dogs outdoors, on beaches, running through water, playing in their natural environments where they're legit having fun and not being posed and poised in a studio with dramatic lighting, that kind of stuff didn't really do anything for me. I really enjoyed the natural environment part. Now, I live in southern Ontario, which is the most southern part of Canada. We have all seasons here and we have snow. Do we have any really exciting landscapes around here? No, we don't. There's not giant waterfalls and beautiful long piers and flat sandy white beaches. There's nothing here like that. But I had to kind of think logistically where I live about an hour from both kind of sides of southern Ontario. I've got Lake Huron on one side about an hour away from me, and then I've got Lake Erie on the other side about an hour away from me as well. And I knew that both of those beaches, which I was very familiar with, were exactly kind of what I was looking for. Each kind of offers some different terrain, different grasses and trees, and then colors all year long. I was kind of familiar with some of that, and I was yeah, I think that that's what I would like to try out. And so to kind of test that theory, I would do free work and I would just find people that had dogs because I didn't own a dog at the time. And I'd be like, hey, my friend or my family members have a pet. And I'd be like, can we go out and take some pictures of your dog? I just kind of want to get some experience and see what it's like. Then I got to play with different lighting. Do I like sunsets? Do I like sunrise? Do I like the look of midday light? No, the answer is always no. But anyway, it's worth trying it out and seeing what you like. If you think you might like the studio side of things, maybe it fits more into your lifestyle and your family for you to work during the day. Maybe you live in a part of the world where it rains a lot and you don't want to work outside. Then maybe a studio is best suited for you. Maybe you have a home where you can have a home studio. Or if you're one of these lucky people that actually start out in their own studio, which I don't think most studio professionals recommend. But if you have access to a space and you want to do that, then go that route, try it out, get yourself some basic equipment and just start trying things and see if it's something that you actually like. So different lighting styles is something that I also kind of take into consideration. So photography is light. Photography is capturing light. So digging in to what kind of light really turns you on and lights that fire and that you're passionate about is also really going to help drive where you're going to go and what your style of imagery is going to look like. For me, I have always loved backlit photography. Now, I didn't know exactly that's what it was at the time. I just know that when I would see like the sun setting behind my kids or something, and you get to see like the golden light coming through their hair and it looks all glistening and glittery and everything like that, like magical golden hour. I knew that I loved that, like in images of anything, not just like dogs. So I knew that that was something I wanted to try and bring into it. The other thing that I really love is vivid color. I've come to learn that a sunrise that has like the pinks and the purples in it, that's just a natural like beauty. Love that. It gives my imagery like a vibrancy that I can't create because pets, dogs, they don't come in colors like that. So I add color to my images through the environment. I am known to work in lavender fields, sunflower fields, cherry blossom trees because I like the pinks and the yellows and the purples. So I add dimension and variety to my work through like natural color, like in the environment. If you want to go the studio route and you like the look of like different colored backdrops or different colored gel lights or RGB lighting, stuff like that, that has a real like cinematic feel, then go for that. Like that's what you should dive into and go in that direction. So thinking not just about lighting in terms of like the sun or nighttime shooting or urban, you know, that kind of stuff. It's thinking about color and what you think you might want to bring to it. So that also kind of helps you decide where you think you might want to start and where you want to go with it. So if you're sitting here and you're like, Andrea, I don't know, like, I don't know what I like. I don't know what color I like. I don't know what style of light I like. Here's where you need to start. You need to get your phone or your computer, laptop, tablet, whatever, and you need to go to Instagram. Okay, Instagram. Look for the hashtag like dog photography. Look at different dog accounts that you follow. See if you can start to find other dog photographers. Add them, okay? Look at them. Get like a collection of accounts going that you can scroll through. And you're not looking now to analyze anything. You're just kind of scrolling through. You want to pay attention to what do you stop on? What stops your scroll? Why does it stop your scroll? What is it that you're seeing in the images that you feel like kind of connected to? What is it about them? Is it the light? Is it the subject? Is it the location? Why? And then just see if there's like a common pattern, a common thread. Like what's happening? Is it, you know, the time of year, the colors, the time of day? Like start noting the things down, like mentally write it down, whatever you need to do. And there, you'll start to pull out the things that kind of like talk to you. And as a creative person, I like to think that what I create comes deep from within, so my soul, if you may. And I like to think that these things like speak to me, like I can feel them in there. And that's how you start to pull out like what you really like and start to develop maybe not your style yet because you haven't started photographing anything, but what interests you. Because I think once you can kind of nail down what you're passionate about, what kind of like lights that passion inside you, and you're like, yeah, I want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to drive to a beach to hit a sunrise because damn, that sunrise is magic. That's what does it for me. And that is the only reason why I would get out of bed at a time like that. So, I mean, you got to think about these things and just scroll through and start paying attention. So that's my best advice for you on this next step in your journey to becoming a professional dog photographer. I hope that you enjoyed today's little spiel and that it was helpful to you. I can't wait and I'm very excited for you. If you have any questions at all, I am here for you. So just drop them down in the comments and I will get back to you. I have 2 more episodes in this series coming at you. We've got next up, episode 3 is the educational resources that I recommend, and episode 4 is the basic equipment that you would need to get started in dog photography. So stay tuned for those, and until I see you again, go out and make some memories with your dog. See you next week. Bye for now.